Hello, everyone. My name is Faulk. I'm with the LSU Ag Center. I'm an extension agent, and I'm going to talk to you just briefly about hay sampling and how to pull a hay sample. So hay sampling is very important to ascertain the quality of your hay. It can make a big difference whenever you're talking about how you supplement your cattle herd. And the only true way to know your hay quality is through hay sampling. And there are several different methods that you can use to sample hay. We've got some of the tools set out before us here today. We're going to talk about a couple of different options you have. So starting from the most basic, of course, would be just a pair of scissors. And so some people choose to do this. This is a very easy way to do it without any tools involved. But you would go up to a bale of hay. Of course, these are laying on the flat side. But you're going to pull some hay from the bale. You're going to need a 5-gallon bucket. And so you're going to take the hay and you're going to use scissors to cut the hay and cut it into the 5-gallon bucket. And you're going to repeat the process on subsequent bales, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. So as we move forward, there are tools available that make hay sampling much easier and gives you much a more accurate sample. There are push type probes, and so these are fairly simple tools to have. Piece of plastic pipe with a probe end. This particular model has a place to put a Ziploc bag on the end. It's Velcroed around it. And what you basically do, always remove the net wrap from the area that you're going to be sampling on the hay bale. You're going to go in on the rounded side, okay? You don't spear it from the flat side, remember that. And so on this model, you put your shoulder against it and push in like that, okay? And it's going to eject the sample material into here, and if you ram it down, you would see it in the Ziploc bag. More advanced than that are the auger type hay probes. These are very popular. People that pull a lot of hay samples choose to use these. They can be a little bit pricey, but they're really worth it, especially if you're sampling baleage. If you're sampling baleage, these push type probes don't work that well or at all. So you're going to have one of these auger style. These can work off of an electric cordless drill. I know a lot of producers that use corded drills, cordless impact drivers. They're very popular. Back in the old days, a lot of people would use a brace a manual brace to do it. But it works on the same principle as the push type hay probe. We're going to go into the curved side of the bale. Simple as that. And so we've got a core sample from throughout this bale. We remove the auger. And there we go. So finally, we talk about how many bales to sample. And that gives us the county agent's favorite expression, it depends. It depends on how big the cutting is. So behind us here, you see a hay barn with one cutting of hay in it. This cutting was about 100 bales out of one field. So if we're taking one sample on this cutting of hay, we want it to be as representative as possible. So we're probably going to take samples from at least 5 or 6 bales in random intervals. All that can be different depending on layout of the field. If you have fields that are very different, i.e. one spot in the field is very high, one spot's very low, one that's more productive than others, that can really can really make a difference on how many samples and how you sample it. But the bare minimum I like to sample on a cutting of hay, on a field of hay, is 5 to 6 bales, ideally 6. You want to go more than that, of course. The more hay that you get in there, the more representative the sample is. And so we want to get a good representative sample that's going to tell us what our hay quality truly is. Now, these tools that we've talked about today, realize many producers may not have them on their farm, but visit with your local parish or county extension office. They may be available to either rent, borrow, or many county extension agents will come out and help you pull your hay samples themselves. And they have these tools, which really makes it easy and convenient for the producer. And if you need more information, please contact the LSU Ag Center on our webpage or any of our extension team members.